So this is the plunger rebellion?
This is it.
It's a cold, blustering in Santa Maria, California. People are lining up by the droves. Traffic is backed up at the post office. Post office workers are having to make extra trips to empty the exterior because of the volume of last-minute filers to pay the... Where the last-minute filers are lining up and the traffic is jammed. Meanwhile, down at there are at least 1,000 people gathering to protest here in Santa Maria. This is the biggest turnout I've ever seen for a political event in Santa Maria, California since Ross Perot ran for president in '92.
Exist without private property? Can America exist without the freedom of speech? Freedom of religion?
Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Cassandra, and I'm going to be your co-host for tonight. And tonight is On Second Thought with the good guy in the white hat next to me, William Wagner.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Cassandra. I must be William Wagner because I got the white hat. The other gentleman here in the studio is Uncle Sam. He's got the red, white, and blue hat. How you feeling tonight, Uncle Sam?
Down a little.
Down a little. Tea parties. That was the opening with the Tea Party, the plunger Tea Party. The Tea Parties, in my opinion, are being co-opted by one political party to run mainstream, do nothing, continue the same bad policies Republicans. That's just my opinion. And hey, I'm a Ron Paul registered Republican. But I just, I tell it like it is. Tonight, we got some interesting footage. We got part of the debate, the second debate between the candidates for Santa Barbara District Attorney. Now, don't change the channel. You think you're going to be bored to death. I'm telling you, you won't be bored. Stick with me. This is a really important office. If the DA won't prosecute you and the sheriff won't arrest you, most of your civil liberties are intact, even though on a federal level, they're trying to destroy our country, destroy your civil liberties. Tonight I have a shocking report from the U.S. War College former director, Alan Sabrowski. You've never heard this name before, and I'm not surprised. Like most of you never heard of Major General Albert Stubblebine, who says, and we have it in video, we've played it before, he says, it's on my YouTube channel at William Wagner, he says, ladies and gentlemen, the planes did not bring down the Twin Towers, despite all the media crap you've been fed for almost 9 years. The planes that hit the Twin Towers did not bring them down. Okay? And beyond that, we have the former U.S. War College director saying that, believe it or not, Al-Qaeda did not do the operation. The media's lied to you for a long time. So we're going to have that clip, and you're going to be shocked to find out who really did the 9/11 on September 11th, 2001. But hey, this guy was only director for 5 years of the U.S. War College. Gee, why should you listen to him, right? Because maybe he's a better expert than most people you've likely to come into. That's why you should listen to him. But this DA's race, I think, is really important. I want to go to a clip. Now, it's an edited clip. I haven't taken out any of the words. This is from the Santa Barbara debate for Santa Barbara District Attorney between Joyce Dudley, who just canceled today as I talked to her. She said, "Oh, Mr. Wagner, it's gotten so complicated. I'm not going to be able to be on your show on May 7th. And guess what? Josh Lynn, the other candidate, was supposed to be here tonight. I was going to give them both equal time, but not on the same night. He canceled tonight because he went to the funeral, which was many hours ago over at the golf course, for Christine Stanley. Now we sit here with neither one of the candidates, but we have this footage, and I think you ought to pay very close attention because just today, hours ago, I got some documents that are going to have impact to you when we read them to you. You're live on television here on Friday night, the 30th of April. Because one of these candidates for DA claims to hold the high moral ground in ethics. But reading these court documents with the official stamps, it would appear to me one of these candidates maybe doesn't hold the high ethical ground. And we'll be getting to that tonight. So let's go to this tape, and I'll be back with Cassandra and Uncle Sam, who I hope will be feeling better. He probably won't when he hears this stuff. But we'll go to that video of the debate in Santa Barbara a couple weeks ago between the district attorneys. Listen carefully, especially the last minute. It's only 3 or 4 minutes. Here we go.
The acting district attorney, I've done the job. It is a very complex job. It's a very rewarding job, but it's also one that you can't simply jump into. You have to understand in the district attorney's office, budget, the folks that work there, where can we best serve the community, how can we best serve public safety. The reason that Tom Sneddon and Christy Stanley and virtually every administrator who's run the office for 28 years supports me is because they understand I'm the best candidate for the job, for that job, as the administrator of the district attorney's office, not some other organization. And I'm proud to have those endorsements, and I'm proud to say that's why I'm the most qualified.
Ms. Dudley, rebuttal.
Thank you. I understand how the district attorney's office works. I was already prosecuting serious felony charges before Mr. Lynn was even sworn in as an attorney. I also understand it because I was president of the District Attorneys Union for 2 years. I did the negotiations along with 2 other people for 2 years. I've worked with everybody in that office for almost 2 decades. I understand how that office works, and I understand that at times we have let you down, and there's going to be a change. I will treat this office the way it should be treated. That is, I will be a public servant, and I will serve you. Thank you.
The second question, to which Mr. Lynn will respond first. What type of training would you provide others in your office concerning ethical issues and standards?
Well, the first way that we learn as prosecutors is on the job. That's the best way to learn. We certainly have in the past and for many, many years sent our prosecutors to school, what was often known as baby prosecutor school, the California DA's Association. That's a great program, but the best way to understand these things is to do it on the job. I have taken, in my role as chief trial deputy, junior attorneys and assigned them to higher cases, to doing things called lifer hearings at prisons, to felonies, to work them second chair in murder cases, to allow them to understand as they progress as attorneys and as they get into the more serious business of prosecution, how to go to court and do the right thing each and every time. I have never been called on the carpet for any ethical violation whatsoever in my career, and I'm proud to say that the reason for that is because I've behaved in a way that's consistent with the rules, that's consistent with what's expected and what's befitting of this high office. And the way that we train our younger, our newer deputies, and the way we insist that the veterans behave the way that the community expects law enforcement to behave is by example. And I will lead by example, as I have previously, that ethics and integrity will start from the top down when I'm the district attorney. Thank you.
Ms. Dudley.
Thank you. Ethics is critical. I think ethics is so important that when asked to teach at the Santa Barbara College of Law, I couldn't do it for a while with my young children and my job at the district attorney's office, but when I was offered the job to be the professor who taught professional responsibility and ethics at the Santa Barbara College of Law, I embraced the decision to become a law school professor. Lawyers must behave ethically at all times. All we have as attorneys is our reputation, and we always have to do the right thing because you trust us. Especially prosecutors. We're the gatekeepers to the criminal justice system, so it's critical that we ensure that our criminal justice system remain just. Josh just mentioned the California District Attorneys Association. I've been a teacher, and I was a subject matter expert in terms of sexual assault crimes, arson crimes for the California District Attorney's Office for the last 15 years. When you're preparing yourself to be a professor, whether it's at the law school or throughout the state for the California District Attorneys Association, you want to make sure that prosecutors, not just here but everywhere, behave ethically and fight hard for, of course, public safety. Thank you.
Mr. Lynn, rebuttal.